Hello, class. This is Cherry, and I am attempting to illustrate the next few weeks of our class together, but also covering what we have done so far. So, I started designing this course by talking about communication and how it can be a problem. As you know, wherever we work, people get upset because the bosses do not communicate well. And the staff members communicate to each other in a very rough manner so that we are all upset. So, communication can be a great issue. As we are talking about management and as we are talking about how you run a program, communication will always come up. And so, I've designed this course around this theme. Communication, as we have covered, is to communicate collaboratively. And how do we collaborate is by being a model yourself. Be a good listener and be observant. And I think I put watchful in my lesson plans. And also by setting up the environment the way that you want people to understand how everything works. So by setting up an environment that has a purpose, a tone where one can enter a room and know what kind of school this is, setting up a curriculum, what you believe in and what you want to portray as a school, and how your students would be groomed eventually, setting up a system of rules for reporting so teachers understand how to go about business. And I think we did talk about being an example again. So communicating collaboratively is one, and we need to talk about communicating so that others may follow what you are intending to communicate. It's no point being a leader when no one is following you right behind, correct? So, communication for action, I think you are doing part 2 right now at this moment in week 7. So, when we are communicating for action, it means that we are creating a scenario where people would respond to us positively. It's like having a dog, and if you have a pet dog, imagine it. If you treat the dog right, if you love the dog will give you respect and will be loyal to you and will welcome you every day. But if you treat a dog badly, and by kicking this dog and not feeding this dog and making the dog angry over and over again, imagine what kind of a dog that you have raised. So we're not comparing people with animals, but it is the same way. If you want something good to happen, you treat them right. So in order for the staff to know where your school is and where your program is heading, you need to know what I'm working for. So the mission is important. Having a mission statement, having a goal, and a vision in mind. And creating a setting where you are sensitive to people socially, emotionally, creating a win-win situation, creating a training over and over again, being sensitive, training that is sensitive to staff, creating policies and procedures so that the staff understands how you want things run. So here we go. Here we talk about collaboratively and how we create an action or response from people. And if you notice, this is talking about you, and this is talking about the environment and what goes on in the environment. This is also talking about how you set the environment and who is creating it. Again, you are. So when we are talking, we are almost done with this two setups here. And we are going to use these methods that you have studied to empower, which is the last step, others to do the things that you want them to do, but to empower them to be themselves. How do you feel when an employee comes to you and say, hey, you know what? I admire what you do and I like what you're doing so far. Go ahead, go and make those plans and I will back you up. That's empowerment. But before you can even give that grace and give that encouragement to others, you need to manage yourself. Again, it's talking about taking care of you. And in everything you do, everything you strategize in your management of a program, in every way, you must have a purpose in what you do. It's no point being a model and setting up the classroom and the school in a way that is perfect on the outside and then trying to win them over with the heart. Look at this, social and emotional. Where does it hit? The heart. The win-win, you feel good. That's the heart. Training that's sensitive. Again, that's the heart. Policy and the procedures, once they're happy, and that's the heart. Everything we do in child development, we're talking about the people, and the people is dealing with the heart. So, and when you're empowering others, you cannot empower others unless you take care of yourself. So be mindful of what you do every day. Be mindful of how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself, and how you take care of every detail outside, inside the program, but also inside of you. So I will be talking later about report writing. Now we're going into paperwork. These are people that we're talking about and how to deal with your bosses. And now we're going to paperwork. A lot of our time will be making reports, reporting, management report, monthly report, weekly report, all kinds of report for the licensing, report for your boss, report also to show that your staff where your program is heading or not heading. So whenever you do a report, always ask yourself, what is the purpose of this report? Is it beneficial to your program, to your staff, to your parents? So in other sense, the report has to be informational, not just something that you type on paper just because your boss asked you to do a report. And then you file it very nicely, January, February, March, April, May, and then you file it and you put it on the shelves. Reports are useless that way. Reports need to be useful to you. Reports needs to have enough data so that you can use it to improve your program for months to come. And how do we do that? Is we find ways to empower your staff to help you work towards a better program. Building a teamwork, building a good way of delegating, and different ways of getting things to work. But you cannot mobilize a team who will work day in, day out for you unless you have done all that. So I hope this video is helpful, and this should cover for the all 16 weeks that we are going to cover. If you have any questions, like I said, give me an email, shoot me an email, And I would like to hear your response to this video. Is it helpful? Is it clearer? Or is it just making you extra confused? So let me know. And if you need any time that you want one-to-one, I'll be happy to call you if we need talking on the phone or have a Zoom session according to your time that we can agree upon. And take good care of yourself, and we shall talk again. Bye-bye.